It's V-Week on ESPN as we continue Jim Valvano's fight against cancer.
Welcome to what could be the biggest college basketball night on ESPN+. You're watching the Big 12 on ESPN. This Big 12 Big East battle continues with a marquee matchup. Number 5 Marquette, number 6 Iowa State inside a sold-out Hilton Coliseum. Alongside King McClure, I'm Rich Hollenberg. King, two Midwestern programs that pride themselves on old school values, toughness and togetherness.
Yeah, two of the best in the country. And like you said, they pride themselves in culture, toughness, defense. It's almost like a spitting image looking at the mirror when you look at these two teams. Very similar. This will be a physical battle. It's simple, Rich. Whoever takes care of the basketball, because both teams are going to try to turn you over. Whoever takes care of the basketball more will win this game.
And we are witnessing history tonight. This is the highest ranked college basketball matchup ever on this platform. And these two teams, it's strength on strength, as you talked about, and they're both led by killer lead guards.
Hey, you want to talk about two guards that are playing at an All-American level. For Marquette, it is Cam Jones. This kid has been terrific. Already had a triple-double this year. He is the head of the snake. He is a very efficient scorer, coming off 20 points, 10 assists, 5 games over 7 assists. Last year, he played off the ball. This year, he's on the ball. He has to have a big night, especially in an environment like this. But on the flip side, All-American level, Keyshawn Gilbert has been able to take over games. What he did in Maui was absolutely special. Tamin Lipsey, his partner, has not had the best start to the season. Well, look no further, because this man has saved the day. His passing has gotten better, and he's probably one of the best finishers, not just in the Big 12, but in all of college basketball.
This is one of the best environments in college basketball. It's a whiteout with the home faithful looking for a little more Hilton magic. Marquette starts the season one of 8 8-0 teams in all of college basketball coming into tonight. Iowa State 5-1, their only loss coming on a buzzer beater tip-in against the number 2 team in the nation, the Auburn Tigers. That happened in Maui. It's going to be Cam Jones and the Marquette Golden Eagles in their road blue uniforms. They have the same starting 5 all 8 games for Shaka Smart. They already have a true road win under their belts. They won that game at Maryland against the Terrapins, and they control the opening tip.
From the start, Rich, this Tamin Lipsey, Cam Jones battle. Tamin Lipsey is the best defensive guard that Cam Jones has seen all season.
David Joplin out to chase Ross. This is a team that shoots 33s a game. They're off the mark on their first one.
Only shooting about 33% from the three-point line, but they do get him up, Rich.
You mentioned Lipsey and Gilbert. That is the engine that makes this Iowa State offense go, a much improved offense from a year ago. Here's Gilbert, 10 and white. He works the baseline. 3 on the shot clock. Lipsey floats it up, in and out. Offensive rebound by Deshaun Jackson.
Well, that is where TJ Ottoberger thinks they have the advantage. In the front court, when you look at Jackson, when you look at Jefferson, they are stronger, they are more physical. Ottoberger thinks they can dominate on the offensive glass.
Here's Stewie Mitchell, Steve Mitchell, number 4, a returning starter, along with Cam Jones and David Joplin, and an and-one opportunity for number 4 in blue.
And that's just too easy right there. A straight line drive, something you typically don't see from an Iowa State defense. Stevie Mitchell, shooting good from the three-point line, but he is known to be a driver. No backside help. Somebody has to slide over. That is way too easy. You've got to be better, and it's not going to get you success tonight.
Stevie Mitchell making his 78th consecutive start for Shaka Smart. Had 21 and 4 steals in that Golden Eagles win against Purdue, but he missed that free throw.
And Marquette, known to play their 1-2-2 to slow you down a little bit, take a little bit of time off the clock.
Here's Jackson. He's got step-out range, but does most of his damage inside. And Marquette forces the turnover, something they're as good as anybody at doing.
And Jackson has to know, one-on-one, Marquette is not going to allow you to play down low one-on-one. The double will always come from the low side.
And a traveling violation called on the big man, number 12 in blue, Ben Gold. That's the first turnover of the night. So now Tamin Lipsey, 3 in white, brings it up. An honorable mention All-American a year ago, preseason, first team All Big 12 this year.
Yeah, he has to be huge tonight. And we talked to TJ Altenberger and we talked to Lipsey, and the one thing that they both said, he has to just go out here and have fun. If he can have fun, he thinks that tonight will be a good, big night for him.
The super sophomore, Milan Momcilovic, called for the traveling violation. Well, we talked about Shaka Smart. There he is, the Madison native. Coming in, he's obviously got some experience playing here in Hilton Coliseum after a number of years as a head coach for the Texas Longhorns, who were then in the Big 12.
And Rich, I'll tell you what, I was so impressed with their shoot-around. The energy was infectious. I felt it, you felt it. They have one of the most impressive shoot-arounds that I have seen in a very long time.
These two head coaches have a lot in common. More on that coming up. Joplin had to force the 3 with the shot clock expiring.
And that's one thing that Iowa State will make you do. They'll make you run your offense extremely far away from the basket. They do a good job of guarding one-on-one, keeping you out of the lane. That's a great defensive possession from Iowa State.
Here's Gilbert. He gets most of his 2s from the painted area. Missed that one. Both of these teams early on this season have been scoring the basketball at a high clip. And that's a 3 from the big man.
And you have to know, Ben Gold is never rolling. He is always popping. So the weak side tag defender has to step up to alleviate him from shooting that jump shot. Make Ben Gold kick to the corner for the one more.
Hasn't shot it well so far this year, but 79% of his field goal attempts are from beyond the arc.
You have to make it put on the floor.
Chase Ross playing up the line. That's a deflection, which is something that the Golden Eagles chart. They like to average 32 a game. That's their goal. Chase Ross is the leader in that department.
Take a look at this. The backside weak defender has to step up. Jefferson has to step up and make him kick to Stevie Mitchell, who is not as good of a shooter as Gold. Do not let Gold get going. Interesting
here, just a few minutes into the game, and TJ Altenberger making wholesale substitutions. 3 starters out, 3 subs on the floor. Super sub number 5, Curtis Jones, has the ball in his hands. He is an electric scorer.
He's been absolutely phenomenal, right on the money. This guy comes in, he is instant offense. One of the best 6 men in all of college basketball.
7 for his last 16 from beyond the arc is Curtis Jones. Game is tied, coming up on 4 minutes gone by. Triples for the Clones.
And if you're Stevie Mitchell right there, you have to get a hand up at 6'9". He already has the advantage, has a high release. You have to get a hand up. Uncontested 3s, not a good thing.
And a near turnover. Keyshawn Gilbert preaching his cause as we take our first timeout inside Hilton Coliseum. When we come back, we'll introduce you to both head coaches who have more similarities than they are different. Well, Shaka Smart and TJ Altenberger don't look alike, but a lot of other things about them are very alike. They're both 47 years old. They both were born in the state of Wisconsin. Both obviously in their 4th year with their respective programs, took those teams to the Sweet 16 last year, and obviously both have top 10 teams this year with designs on going even further in March Madness than the Sweet 16, King.
And their mindsets are extremely similar. You talk about guys who believe in culture, who believe in recruiting the right kind of guys, because not just any basketball player can go to Marquette. Same thing with Iowa State. They get the right guys who fit their culture. Their mindsets, their mentalities are the exact same. And I mean, talking to both of these coaches in their shoot-arounds, I was extremely inspired just on culture, on toughness, on the way that they talked, the way that they ran their programs. These are 2 of the best culture builders in the game that we have.
And this is a chance for a huge resume builder for both teams. If they win, it'll be TJ Otzelberger's 11th win against a top 10 team. And if Marquette pulls off the win, it's their first top 10 road win in 7 years. That's Cam Jones's first bucket of the game, averaging just a touch under 20 a contest.
And that's a great Spain action right there. They stayed attached to goal because they didn't want him to pick and pop. Cam Jones turned the corner. Good Spain action right there by Shaka Smart.
Explain to me what you mean by Spain action.
It's a ball screen into a back screen, which makes the defense thoroughly confused.
There's a nice dish. Gilbert to Heisey for 2.
And they do such a great job of that. Keyshawn Gilbert, you have to find a way to keep him out the paint, because when he gets into the paint, his dishing ability, his ability to be able to find his teammates, just as good as almost anybody in the country.
Nate Heisey spent his first 4 college years at Northern Iowa, now playing his 5th year of college hoops here in Ames. Here's Joplin, working for his own shot off the mark, and the rebound to Curtis Jones.
Iowa State does a tremendous job guarding the basketball one-on-one, not relying on help side defense.
Jones already with a pair of 20-point efforts this season. Misses that shot, Gold clears. Here comes Mitchell up the right side. That's blocked by Chetfield. And the transfer from Seattle gets the crowd on their feet again.
Marquette, number 4, Stevie Mitchell, his first. Team foul number 1. Number 5, Trey Norman, and number 13, Royce Barham, check into the Marquette lineup.
Let's take a look at this defense right here. Good one-on-one. Backside, Chetfield coming over. You know, TJ Otzelberger loves Chetfield, and he's just a perfect big that fits the Iowa State. We're gonna keep using this word all night, culture. He's tough, he's physical, he goes out there and plays extremely hard. He does everything that Otzelberger wants a big man to do.
Gilbert, tough 2 off the window, and that is his specialty.
So elite at getting downhill, the body control, to jump in the air, finish with the left hand. It's super impressive.
And here comes Lipsy, leading the break. And another 2, this time Curtis Jones.
When they get into the paint, bad things happen. Curtis Jones, so good at getting to this floater, great touch around the rim.
And another turnover forced by the Cyclones D. Joplin lost the handle. Iowa State looking to add to their largest lead of the night. Here's Lipsy, so reliable as a point guard. More steals than turnovers. 10 on the shot clock. Gilbert right into the teeth of the Marquette defense and draws the foul.
And that's just a beautiful possession from Iowa State. Look at how they drive to the basket and get into the lane. Right now, that's one area in which Marquette is struggling, keeping these Iowa State guards out of the paint. That's such an impressive finish from Gilbert. And just look at this right here. Jones is very efficient with his dribbles. He's an efficient scorer, but not just when it comes to percentages, but also with his dribbles.
You know, you mentioned Brandon Chatfield, the 5th-year senior out of Idaho. You got to hope that this culture of Iowa State keeps his head in check, because he's a humble guy. But listen, anybody who makes the cover of the New York Times sports section, you could understand if he'd get a little ego inflated.
That's pretty big time. But once again, when you talk about Otzelberger and what he recruits, Chatfield is not that type of kid. He's the type of kid who's going to come in here and work day after day, give 100% effort, and will never, ever have that ego that we see a lot in college basketball.
Gilbert knocks down both free throws, and now it's a 16-7 lead, a 14-2 Iowa State run.
And for Marquette, I would like to see the ball in Cam Jones' hands. Getting him into the same action earlier. The Spain action works. Get him into a ball screen. When he's in a ball screen, typically good things happen for Marquette.
Here's Jones, right on cue, but he's short on that floater. And Gold tracks it down. Extra possession for Marquette. And they pay it off. That's number 10, the freshman, Demarius Owens, with his first bucket.
And I love Demarius Owens. At 6'7", he is their true backup point guard. He is so skilled offensively. And when you talk to Shaka Smart, him and the rest of the staff are extremely high. They say this kid has a chance to play in the NBA one day, and I agree.
Nice feed inside. That's Jones to Jefferson.
Assist by Deshaun Jackson.
Already 6 Iowa State Cyclones have scored, and Ben Gold has an answer with an early 5 points now.
And the ball screen from Marquette. Cam Jones getting to the ball screen. We typically do not see Gold roll, but right there he rolled right to the rim. No weak side tag. Good pass right there by Cam Jones.
Now the freshman Noyes Indricitis, number 15 in white on the floor for TJ. And they go inside and get another 2 at close range.
We see back-to-back buckets by the front court of Iowa State. Rich, I think that's the biggest difference between this year's Iowa State team and last year's. Their front court production, when you talk about the offensive side of things, is so much greater.
Jones off the mark. Jackson lost it out of bounds. It'll be Marquette basketball.
Well, this is where Marquette has so much success so far, even though they're down by 8, in the pick and roll when Cam Jones has the basketball. If we watch this play, when he comes off of the ball screen, look at how they draw this up. So off of this ball screen, Jefferson is supposed to tag. He doesn't slide over, right? They keep the Parham high. Jefferson doesn't slide over to take away the roll. Easy dunk. Good draw by Marquette. They need more of that in order to climb back into this ball game when they are on the road down 8.
Ben Gold already has 1 3 in tonight's game. That's his specialty, but showing there that he could play within the system that Shaka Smart likes to run, and he made a rim run and got a dunk out of it. It's Iowa State, however, dominating points in the paint. Already half of their points have come from the painted area.
And we see this change right here by Otterberger. 2-3 zone. Iowa State has not gone zone the whole year.
And they force a Marquette turnover.
Yeah, they want to give a different look. You saw the 2-3 zone, ended up morphing into man. Honestly, just to slow you up, make you think a little bit. But good decision right there out of a timeout for TJ Otterberger.
Iowa State coming in ranked 6th in the nation. Marquette, number 5. One of only 8 teams coming into tonight's action. Undefeated at 8-0. That's a one and done possession for the Iowa State offense. Here comes Cam Jones, yet to get on track. Hayden Hamilton from beyond the arc, no good. Jones in transition. And an and one opportunity for the big man. Deshaun Jackson will go to the line.
That is where Iowa State specializes. Turning missed shots, turning turnovers, converting those into buckets. They get the ball out and get into transition as good as any team in the country. Curtis Jones making the right decision, saw Hamilton step up, drop it down to your big, reward him for running. Good and one right there from Jackson.
Now Deshaun Jackson coming over. Played his basketball at Charlotte, and before that, Washington State. And his mom was certainly a big-time player herself. He was the first transfer portal commit this offseason for TJ Otterberger.
You know, what's interesting about that, Rich, is that Otterberger said that he recruited Jackson and Jefferson when they were coming out of high school. So he knew the culture, he knew the character of these guys, and knew what they offered and what they brought to the table.
And a straight line drive by Chase Ross, and he'll go to the line and shoot too. That's going to go on the freshman Indricitis.
Right here, this is just a good take. You got to keep Ross out of the paint. That is where he is so good, when he's able to turn the corner, get downhill.
So they rule that Ross was not in the shooting motion. It'll be Marquette ball under their own basket. There's a three from David Joplin.
Joplin has to be big tonight. And too many times he's up and down. He's hot and cold. And I think that's primarily due to him relying so heavily on his jumper. But he hit that one. When his three is going, this young man can get hot. We saw that in the game against Georgia.
Last 3+ games now, he's 13 for 24 from beyond the arc. So he is heating up. With 6 on the shot clock, Lipsy in and out. There's Jones working on Lipsy. Cam Jones frustrated in the first 10+ minutes of this contest. Can't say the same about Keyshawn Gilbert. He hangs and hits.
Once again, you see the body control. He's as good as any guard in America when it comes to controlling his body on attack.
And here comes a turnover and transition offense, and that is the Cyclone specialty. Keyshawn Gilbert with a game high, 8 points. It's the largest lead of the game, 11 for the Iowa State Cyclones.
Keyshawn Gilbert just doing what Keyshawn Gilbert does, Rich. Getting downhill. Look at the body control right here. Doesn't matter who it is. He's going right through your chest, protecting the basketball. Keyshawn Gilbert, man, playing at an All-American level.
And it's interesting, King, you know, we talk about offensive efficiency and defensive efficiency, and in today's day and age, that usually involves a lot of three-point shooting.
Yes.
Keyshawn Gilbert now has 8 points in 8 minutes, and he hasn't taken a three-point shot.
But what's the most interesting about that, Rich, is when I come here and I watch Keyshawn Gilbert warm up before shoot-around. He's knocking down 3 threes in a row, 4 threes in a row. His jumper looks good, the form looks good, the rotation looks good. For me, I think it's all about confidence. But also, Rich, if you're so good at something, if you're so good at getting downhill, why shoot the basketball? Why have to knock it down from deep if nobody can keep you out of the paint? I think as he progresses and as he goes to the next levels, he has to get that jumper down. But right now, nobody can keep Keyshawn Gilbert out of the paint.
And you think he's hot now in front of the home folks in Hilton Coliseum? He earned Big 12 Player of the Week honors last week for how much he dominated the field in Maui at the Maui Invitational.
And what a luxury it is to have a guy like him in your backcourt. When Lipsy's not playing up to where you know he can play, he can take over games, he can step up, and right there, you talk about guys getting into the paint. When Ross gets downhill, all of the guards of Marquette, they have such great touch around the rim, and they do the same thing. They put a lot of pressure on you by trying to attack.
That was the first 2 of the game for number 2, Chase Ross. Here's Momcilovic. 10 to shoot for Iowa State. He gets double teamed, almost turns it over. Good hands as usual from Ross. 4 on the clock. Gilbert. Can't get it to go. Joplin clears. All 5 starters on the floor for Shaka Smart. The lefty Ross can't make it 2 for 2. Cam Jones all alone, and he can't knock it down. And it'll be Iowa State basketball. And you can finally start to sense a little frustration on number 1 Cam Jones's face.
Yeah, but he's a senior. He's an upperclassman. He's been in a lot of battles like this. So he understands that early on, it might not be going your way, but the longer you play, things can change in a real quick instant.
Jones, who's 30th in the nation in scoring, just 1 for 5 in the early going here in Ames.
Well, that's also partly due to, like I said earlier, Lipsy and Gilbert are 2 of the best defensive guards that he's probably seen all year.
And now Keyshawn Gilbert knocks one down, and Chase Ross is down as well. Well, you talked about that sweet stroke from Gilbert that he doesn't show off too much. He showed it there, a game-high 11, but concern at the other end of the floor as number 2 in blue, Chase Ross, looks like he might have rolled an ankle. Chase Ross, one of the starters for Shaka Smart, on the sidelines tending to a bad left ankle. You could see their trainer, Kenny Wilka, tending to him, trying to get some ice on that ankle or get it laced up at least. Let's take a look back at what happened.
Yeah, you hope to see he's okay, but this is how Keyshawn Gilbert got open. Right there. The ankle turned and rolled. Didn't see it, stepped on Chatfield's foot. You hope that he's okay, because he plays such a pivotal role for this Marquette team.
And Ross is gonna have to be helped to the visitors' locker room to get that ankle tended to. But that shot of him twisting the ankle is what gave Keyshawn Gilbert the airspace to get an open looking three. He knocked it down. Iowa State 3 for 4 from beyond the arc so far tonight.
Yeah, I've had one too many of those ankle sprains, Rich. I understand the pain.
Joplin finds the open man in the corner. It's Owens, and he pays it off. Demarius Owens with his second triple of the night.
Well, that's what you have to do. Out of a pick and roll, when they hard hedge, when they trap the ball screen, get the ball to the middle, immediately look opposite, because the corner is always wide open.
Momcilovic can't get it to go from the baseline drive. Here comes Joplin. Both of these teams top 20 in the nation in fast break points. Again, Cam Jones, one of the leading scorers in the Big East, held to just 2 points so far. Nice closeout from Chatfield, but Stevie Mitchell knocks it down anyway.
Well, it was all caused by Cam Jones' ability to get to the paint. When he kicked to Ben Gold, Gilbert had to fully commit, because you didn't want Gold on the pick and pop to get a wide open three.
We expected a close game. It's now a 2-possession ball game. And here comes Owens. Missed the first 3 games of the season with a foot injury. Before that, had a groin injury, but you touched on it. This staff at Marquette is high on that freshman.
Let's take a look at one of these past few possessions by Marquette. Out of the pick and roll, they hard hedge, get the ball to Joplin, look opposite immediately, because it is wide open, because they overcommit. So the weak side is always open, and right here, this is just a great play. Cam Jones gets into the lane, picks up Golden. Well, Gilbert commits. Good one more by Joplin. That's how they found success on the offensive side.
Loose ball after a pair of misses from Marquette. 6:06 to go. It's a 6-point Iowa State lead.
One thing about this Marquette team, no matter how much they are down, this team is resilient. They're old, they're veteran, they understand how it feels to be on the road, and understand that early leads mean nothing.
Mitchell lost the handle. Loose ball, Gold comes away with it. 10 on the shot clock. Owens can't get that one to go. Loose ball, who wants it? Cam Jones saves it. Owens, again, left hand, no. And Jefferson clears for the Clones.
You can just see the confidence right there by Owens. Looking to attack, looking to get shots up. He has so much potential.
Ball goes out of bounds. It'll stay Iowa State basketball. Starters back on the floor for TJ Otzelberger. Heise and Chatfield go out. Deshaun Jackson and Taman Lipsey back on the floor.
Right here, Iowa State's offense has been stalled the past few possessions. They need to look for a way to get Keyshawn Gilbert going downhill. That is how they got the lead.
Tough assignment for the freshman Owens guarding Taman Lipsey. 8 on the timer. It's in the right guy's hands, though. He gives it up to his backcourt mate. Lipsey, a deflection out of bounds, and no one loves that more than Shaka Smart.
It's just great activity on the defensive side. They do a great job, as good as any team in the country, running you off the three-point line and making you drive and get into the gap. But then they're so active with their hands, they cause a lot of chaos.
2.6 on the shot clock. Jackson beats the timer.
And if you're Marquette, you can't overreact to that. Jackson shooting a free throw line jump shot with 2 seconds to go on the clock. You're living with it.
And Jefferson clears again. Deshaun Jackson, 12 for his last 16 from the
good
field.
pass.
Make it 13 for his last 17 with the two-hand flush. The big man with 8, the lead back up to double digits. Jones fends off Jackson for the tough 2.
Talk about Gilbert's finishing, where Jones is close, if not on the same level. Right there, such a tough bucket. Right hand with the left-handed player.
Gilbert again from beyond the arc.
I think it's all confidence, Rich. When you look at Keyshawn Gilbert, the form and the rotation looks good. It's all about him being confident enough to come off the ball screen like we just saw and to knock it down.
Here's another fast break opportunity for the Clones.
Oh, man.
Are they going to count it? No basket, they say. But Keyshawn Gilbert will go to the line. That's the second foul, or the first foul on Owens.
We talk about front court production on the offensive side. They didn't have this last year. Jefferson shielding him off with his body, making Gold come over. Good dime right there. These two guys make this Iowa State team so much more dangerous than they were last year. And Rich, I think they were pretty good last year.
And you could just tell watching this Iowa State team that they are connected already. They have 4 big-time transfers who are in their rotation. Jefferson, number 2, is one of them. Deshaun Jackson, number 1. His front court mate is another. So how does TJ Otzelberger succeed at getting this team to build so much chemistry in such a short amount of time?
Well, Rich, I'll tell you one thing. When you look at the transfers that they brought in, I love what he did with Jefferson and Jackson, because now it takes so much pressure off of the guards of Iowa State to score. Last year, they were only winning games if the guards, Lipsey, Gilbert, Jones, had big games. They were able to score. This year, Lipsey has not played up to his potential, but they lose to Auburn on a buzzer beater, one of the best teams in the country, because their front court production has been great. Iowa State up 11, 4 minutes to go.
Well, King, before we went to break, we asked the question, how does TJ Otzelberger create culture with all the transfers coming into the program? This man, Mark McGinnis, is one of the ways he does that. What other team in the country has a former Navy SEAL commander on their staff? He looks just like an assistant coach, but he spent his time learning how to lead in the U.S. military, and now he brings those experiences to the Iowa State basketball program.
And as Keyshawn Gilbert pointed out, he also looks just like you, Rich.
Keyshawn did say that at shoot-around, but I think Mark McGinnis is a lot more decorated a man than I am sitting here in courtside. But it's interesting. We asked Tamin Lipsey, what did he bring this summer that brought you guys together? He said, well, we did basically 48 hours of boot camp. We slept on the floor in Hilton Coliseum. We did not have phones. We were not able to go anywhere without each other as teammates, and things like that force you to be together and become connected as a unit.
I mean, you talk about toughness. That right there is why Iowa State goes out there and plays as hard as they do. That's why they impose their will and want to be the toughest team on the court, because of things like that.
Well, this front court of the Iowa State Cyclones showing up big. A combined 14 between Jackson and Jefferson. That's a much-needed 3 from David Joplin.
And that's just a great relocation right there.
Jones, right back at you.
That's what makes Iowa State so tough. You can score a bucket, and they are back right down at the other end, trying to score within the first 5 seconds if you're caught celebrating.
7 points for Jones, balanced scoring for the Clones. Coming up on 3 minutes to go. The left-handed runner is good from Stevie Mitchell. He has 7.
That's so tough right there, to switch hands mid-air, go to your weak hand, and be able to float it on top of the defense. Tough bucket right there by Stevie Mitchell.
Jefferson and Jackson have not missed a field goal tonight. 7 for 7 for the two front court mates for Iowa State. Here's Jefferson with the rock. And he goes to the sky hook for 2.
Yeah, well, that is the biggest difference. I keep touching on this. Last year, you did not have guys that you can throw it down low and go get a bucket from. Now you have 2 in Jefferson and Jackson. When the guards need a break and don't need to score the ball, get the ball down low and then create offense.
Owens has his 3rd triple of the night. The freshman having a great first half for Shaka Smart.
I think we're learning a lot about this young man right here. He is going to be special, and Shaka Smart said this is going to be a true test because Iowa State does as good of a job as anybody in the country, exposing immaturity. And right now, Owens has played a very mature game.
Owens is perfect from three-point range this season.
Dime.
And a beautiful look up ahead to another freshman. That's Royce Parham for 2.
Rich, that's a dime. He put the ball in a perfect spot. Cam Jones is an elite passer.
And we talk about Cam struggling and scoring 4 points. He's got 5 assists already.
And that's what he's a winner. He helps you win in more ways than just scoring. He does whatever it takes in order to get his team a win.
And no sooner do we mention Cam Jones, but Keyshawn Gilbert attacks right back. Here's a look at Jones's assist.
Take a look at this dime. He didn't throw it to where Parham was. He threw it to where he was going. Didn't lead him too much. The perfect amount of touch on a pass. That's nice.
15 now for Keyshawn Gilbert, averaging a team high 16.5 a game coming in. Lipsy to the bench, Jackson to the bench. This is a luxury that TJ Otzelberger has not had in his previous 3 years as the head coach at Iowa State. And lights out shooting from the top 3 scorers for the Clones. Here's Jones trying to expose the mismatch. Parham. And Chatfield chases it down. Coming up on 1 minute to go in the first half. One of the biggest non-conference tilts in college basketball this season. Number 5 Marquette, number 6 Iowa State. And Kip Kissinger says no basket, foul on the floor. So Keyshawn Gilbert will go back to the line to shoot a 1-and-1.
Yeah, a lot of contact, but this is what TJ Otzelberger likes. He says he likes when they drive the ball with force, and that is what you see from Gilbert. Attacking and not being stopped one-on-one. I mean, he looks thin, but he's extremely strong.
And keep in mind, this is a very good Marquette defense, and this Iowa State offense has put up 44 in the first half on.
And what's more impressive, they only turned the ball over 3 times. Marquette is a top 10 defense in the country when it comes to getting steals and steal percentage. They turn you over at a high rate, but to protect the ball the way that Iowa State has in the first half is the reason why they are up 10.
Only 3 Clones turnovers. They are 7th in the country at valuing each possession. Fewest turnovers in the nation.
That's what happens when you have veteran guards who understand the value of protecting the basketball.
And that's going to be an Iowa State foul on David Joplin. That's going to go on Nate Heisey. Only the 4th team foul on Iowa State as well. They're one of the most physical teams in the country. So 48.5 to go in the half, 20 seconds on the time. And that'll be a foul called on Brandon Chatfield. A win tonight, and it's 22 straight home wins and 32 straight against non-conference foes for the Iowa State Cyclones. The Marquette Golden Eagles are looking for their first top 10 road win in 7 seasons. And if they win, they'll be 9-0 for the first time in 13 years. But it's a tough task here in Hilton Coliseum, one of the best home court advantages in all of college hoops.
Definitely one of the hardest places that I ever had to play at. These fans are extremely passionate and they are rowdy.
And that's a nice way of putting it, partner, because I know they gave you a hard time in your years here as a Baylor Bear.
I've heard a little bit of everything, Rich. Things I definitely can't repeat on there.
Again, TJ Otzelberger and the Clones going undefeated here inside the friendly confines last year for just the 5th time in Iowa State history. But they'll have their hands full in the second half with this Marquette team.
If you're Iowa State, you want to end the half with the last shot. Do not be surprised if Marquette tries to try to speed them up and get the last shot of the half.
Shot clock is off, 15 seconds to go in the first half. A 9-point Iowa State lead. Now 5 to go. Gilbert with the ball, step back 3, off to the left. And the half will come to an end. An entertaining one, to say the least, as we expected. Number 6 leads number 5 at the break. It's a 46-37 Iowa State lead. Keyshawn Gilbert averaging 16.5 a game this year, leading all scorers with 18 already tonight. We'll take a timeout and come back with more from Ames, Iowa. The biggest ranked matchup in college basketball history on ESPN+. Back inside a sold-out Hilton Coliseum in Ames, Iowa. It's the 6th-ranked Cyclones with a 46-37 lead over the 5th-ranked Marquette Golden Eagles. Ready to start the second half courtside alongside my man King McClure. I'm Rich Hollenberg. Happy holidays, everybody. Certainly happy V-Week, all of us here at ESPN Networks. And this game was highly anticipated, but for all of 32 seconds, the homestanding Iowa State Cyclones have led this game, and they've been led by Keyshawn Gilbert.
He's led this charge. He's got them to where they are, and he's done it in a variety of ways. He did what he typically does by driving the ball, getting to the paint. You talk about finishing, he is one of the best. But I think the difference in his scoring tonight is his ability to be able to knock down the 3 and add that to his arsenal. His driving is so deadly that teams typically back up because they are trying to keep him out the paint. Well, he has 3s. Tonight, he has been able to take them, and not just take them, but knock them down. He has looked comfortable from behind the arc, and he has led the charge. Look for him to have a big second half if they want to keep this lead.
Ken Pom says that Iowa State has the 4th most efficient offense in all of basketball. They shot it at a 64% clip in the first half against a really good Marquette defense, including 4 for 7 from 3. But again, their bread and butter is get it down low to the big guys. Yeah. They have 24 paint points.
Well, we know how deadly their defense is, so when you mix their defense, their physicality, their aggression on that side of the ball, and you add that with the offensive ability to knock down shots, this Iowa State team is hard to beat, especially at Hilton.
For their part, Marquette didn't play all that bad. 7 for 16 from beyond the arc. They have 10 assists on their 15 made field goals. The only problem is Iowa State has 18 made field goals.
Rich, watch Cam Jones this half. I think he's going to have to turn it up and go to another level, especially with Ross being out for the rest of the ball game. He's currently in a boot. Him and Owens, Jones and Owens are going to have big second halves.
And there's Josh Jefferson picking up where he left off. He's in double digits with 10, and the 2 front court bigs for Iowa State, perfect from the field. Here's Jones, held to just 4 points in the first half. Nice spin move, and it rolls off the rim. Can't fault the effort there from number 1 in blue. Jackson got fouled and will go to the line.
Right there, Marquette caught ball watching. You cannot ball watch against the bigs of Iowa State. You have to locate and hit bodies because Jackson will have a field day. Take a look at this. Good take right here. Nobody stops the basketball. But everybody on Marquette watching the ball, Jackson will have a field day. He is too good of a rebounder for you not to block out.
He misses the first free throw. To your point, at Marquette practice this morning, we were standing by and you could hear, because everybody in the gym was silent, Shaka Smart telling his team, every inch we are fighting for on this floor tonight. And so far, Iowa State's won that fight.
I think we're going to learn a lot about this Marquette team this half.
Here's Jones. Again, close range and off the window, but no good. And Demarius Owens continues his climb.
This might be his coming out party. He's had big games, but they weren't against high major opponents.
Had 10 in their last contest, a win against Western Carolina in just 14 minutes. Now he's playing major minutes in the absence of Chase Ross, and he's delivering. 11 points for the freshman.
But you know what, Rich? He's a better offensive player than Ross is. Ross is a better defensive player, but Owens gives you more on the offensive side.
Jones had it knocked out of his hands and out of bounds.
And the first 3 possessions of the game, we have seen Cam Jones try to score. He's missed the first 2, got fouled right there, but we have seen him come out extremely aggressive in the first 3 possessions by Marquette.
The line for Marquette, Cam Jones.
Cam Jones will step to the line. 13th in the nation in assists, 30th in the country in points per game. But tonight has not been his night. The iron unkind. In one of their biggest wins of the season at number 6 Purdue at that time, Cam Jones messed around and got a triple-double. 17 points, 13 boards, and 10 assists. That was the first Marquette triple-double since 2003 when Dwayne Wade turned the trick. In the Elite 8. Speaking of elite, this offense from Iowa State's been that.
Cam Jones got bumped by Tamin Lipsey, which hurt his ability to be able to stay in front of the basketball, which is why Lipsey drove right by him, made the right decision when he got to the paint.
Jefferson's season high is 16. He has a dozen already. And here comes Keyshawn Gilbert leading the break. He's a one-man fast break, gets his own miss, and somehow gets it up and in under a sea of blue.
You talk about the Navy SEAL, you talk about toughness, that is all that is right there. Keyshawn Gilbert had no business scoring that bucket, but he did so strictly due to toughness.
Had 23 against Auburn, 24 against Dayton. He has 20 tonight against Marquette. Gold for 3. Off the mark, 1 and done. Jefferson the rebound. Josh Jefferson working on a double-double, 12 points, 8 boards. And here comes Cam Jones, a 3-on-1. He chooses the 3 and can't get it to go. And Jefferson gets blocked from behind. Everything going the way of the Cyclones. Back-to-back misses from beyond the arc. And now 3 subs waiting to check in for TJ Otzelberg.
Cam Jones has a mismatch. He has to take advantage of it.
He does, but can't get it to go, and a foul is called under the basket.
The foul's on Iowa State. Number 10, Keyshawn Gilbert, his first, team foul number 2.
Yeah, we got to take a look back at this Gilbert bucket that he had no business scoring. Good drive. He's so hard to keep out of the paint. But look at this. 3 defenders, and somehow Gilbert's able to score over the 6'11" Gold. Just straight up toughness right there, Rich.
Sean Gilbert, the reigning Big 12 Player of the Week, preseason, 2nd team All Big 12. And Mitchell can't can the first free throw.
Check into the Marquette lineup. Here with the Cyclones, number 0. Nate Heisey, number 5. Curtis Jones, number 33. Brandon Kent.
Now Lipsey, Jefferson, and Jackson will all get a breather on the bench.
Right now, Rich, with this lineup that Marquette has, you have Gold, you have Jones, who are known as guys who can score. Parham can contribute a little bit, but they're going to have to get it done on the defensive side. They're going to have to get stops, get turnovers, and convert those into transition offense.
Mitchell has 8, but the Eagles are down 11. That one goes out of bounds, and it'll stay Cyclones basketball. The only loss this season for the Iowa State Cyclones came on a Janai Broom buzzer beater tip-in Maui. Momcilovic loves the baseline. His second bucket of the night.
Such a great underneath out of bounds play. The screen-to-screener action, running Momcilovic off that cross screen right there. He curls it, knocks it down. Good play.
Here's Parham. And he's got the green light in his own mind.
And Shaka Smart says, even though, despite the percentages, throw the percentages out, every single time Parham shoots the basketball, Shaka Smart is comfortable with it and he's good with it. Parham, a freshman that is extremely confident.
Timeout on the floor, the first media timeout of the second half, a 10-point Clones lead.
Great screen by Chatfield, even better shot by Momcilovic. 2-2, give me 2.
Back at sold-out Hilton Coliseum, where the home crowd is enjoying a 10-point lead by the 6th-ranked Iowa State Cyclones over the 5th-ranked Marquette Golden Eagles. Alongside King McClure, I'm Rich Hollenberg, and TJ Altenberger and Shaka Smart both have to be happy with the way their teams have valued each possession.
You know, part of that is because, Rich, they're used to seeing it every single day in practice. These two teams, we talked about it in the open, they are a mirror of each other. They both want to turn you over, speed you up, get into the passing lanes, and cause you to make mistakes. And they're so used to it, seeing it every single day in practice, that they're protecting the basketball tonight.
Gilbert tried for the backdoor pocket pass, but it got kicked. It'll stay Clones basketball.
That's a good heads-up play right there by Gold to kick that basketball, because on that back screen, he was wide open. Momcilovic was wide open, was going to get an easy layup. Good heads-up play to kick the ball.
Here's Chatfield. A rare 2 from number 33.
And right now, Iowa State being very efficient on their underneath out-of-bounds plays. We've seen them convert 2 times recently.
Jones again comes up empty. Brandon Chatfield, in their last game, a win against Colorado, had no field goal attempts in 18 minutes, but he ended up plus 20 on the floor.
Because he does everything you want out of a big. Right there, getting position, being able to keep plays alive, the hustle plays, the small things that Chatfield brings, TJ Altenberger loves. He fits into this culture and this program perfectly. Great pass by Gilbert. Good angle, way to finish it right there through contact. Chatfield does the little things.
And that was assist number 5 for Keyshawn Gilbert to go along with a game-high 20. Parham again. 8 for the freshman out of Pittsburgh.
Percentages aren't great, but when you look at it, shots per minute, he averages the most on the team. He is getting him up, and he is not shy by any means. They're not going in tonight, though.
Stolen away by Mitchell. He leads this Marquette team in steals. A late whistle at the other end, and it's from near half court by Kip Kissinger. And that's going to go on Chatfield, his second.
And I think that's the right call. I think if you're Chatfield, you either have to vertical contest or you have to fall. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, he moved at the last minute. You either have to vertical contest, jump in the air, let him go through your chest, or you have to fall. He was in position if he wanted to. He could have taken this charge, but instead was leaning a little bit with the left hand, backed up last minute. I think that's the right call.
Lipsy back on. Momcilovic to the bench for TJ Altenberger. Word from this Iowa State staff is that Tamin Lipsy is dealing with a little bit of a sore left shoulder, so maybe that's another reason why TJ Altenberger wants to get him as much breather as he can.
Yeah, but what a luxury it is to have guys like Curtis Jones and Keyshawn Gilbert.
The depth that this Iowa State team has, especially offensively, is the big difference between last year's team, albeit successful with 29 wins, and this year's team that has bigger aspirations than a Sweet 16.
I mean, you talk about it. I know they lost to Auburn, but Auburn right now is considered by many the best team in America. To lose to Auburn by a tip-in, and Lipsy does not play well, but to still be that close to winning the ball game shows you how deep this Iowa State team is and shows you how good they can be. We talked to Keyshawn Gilbert in shoot-around, and the biggest thing he talked about he learned from Maui was that it was a confidence booster, that they can play with anybody on any given night.
Inbounds, stolen away, Parham. He's given Shaka Smart quality minutes. And Keyshawn Gilbert is down and very slow to get up. And Lamar Simpson will stop the clock. And the crowd is letting Marquette hear about it.
Well, somebody has to call this screen out. As a guard, when you are pressuring the basketball like this, Chatfield has to call that out. There is no way in the world that Keyshawn Gilbert should get smacked like that. Chatfield has to be louder, has to call out that ball screen. As a player, when you are a guard and you get hit like that, you go right to the big. You tell the big you need to call that out because that is your fault. That is the big's fault. That's not Gilbert's fault.
Let's take another look. The 6'9", 250-pound Caden Hamilton was a brick wall.
And that's strictly on Chatfield. Chatfield has to be louder. You cannot put your guards in that position.
So you just heard Kip Kissinger say the previous play is now going to be reviewed by the officiating crew for a potential technical foul.
And I don't see anything that would cause a flagrant. I just thought it was a hard screen.
His feet were set. He didn't extend his arms.
Yeah, he didn't push off. He didn't extend. I don't see anything that would insinuate a flagrant.
I mean, that's almost exactly how you would coach it. And you heard Kip Kissinger very quickly say, no flagrant foul. So good call by the officiating crew.
Yeah, good job by the referee. Yes, you have to check it out because it was excessive, not excessive, but it was a lot of contact on a play. So you have to go to the monitor to review it, to check it out, to make sure, but they got it right.
So now some, at least token, full court pressure, and it's deflected out of bounds. And you could see how those kind of effort plays fire up this Marquette crew.
As you can see, Marquette is getting it done on the defensive side. That is how they're slowly still in this ball game, and they are clawing their way back. Stevie Mitchell on the defensive side. We talk about Gilbert and Lipsy, but Stevie Mitchell means the same thing for this Marquette team. Defensively, he is their heart and soul.
It does really feel like Iowa State is dominating this game, and they're only up 7 right now. Here's Heisey. Now in the hands of the sure-handed Tamin Lipsy. 7 on the shot clock. Now 3 to shoot. Jones, 2 feet in the paint, and he gets it to go.
Always under control. Curtis Jones, such a great scorer, plays at a great pace, does a good job getting to his spots. Good bucket.
Nice feed. Jones to Parham, who's having himself a second half.
All started by Cam Jones' ability to get to the rim. Good find.
6th assist for Cam Jones. Gilbert around and out on that close field goal attempt. And again, more wholesale substituting. TJ Otzelberger like a hockey coach.
Take a look at this pass. Take a look at this pass by Cam Jones. They overhelp. Nobody takes the cutter. Cam Jones will always expose you.
So Jones with 7 assists over his season average. 7 minutes gone by in the second half. Iowa State has led for all but 30 seconds of this top 6 matchup. And it's been a virtually perfect night for the 2 bigs for TJ Otzelberger.
Yeah, they give you offensive production. And I love Trey King, and you love Rob Jones, what they brought to the table defensively. But offensively, Jefferson and Jackson are so much better and give you so much more.
And there you see some of the nimble feet of the big man, #1 in white, Deshaun Jackson, who go back to the line.
Now, I will say Trey King and Rob Jones were better defensively. And that's one thing that Otzelberger told us. Defensively, they are better, but offensively, this is just tough. One-on-one. Jackson at 6'11", being able to move like that. get to the rim. He has to knock down his free throws. He's been struggling from there tonight, but he just gives you so much on the offensive end.
0 for 4 tonight from the stripe. He's usually reliable, 78% coming in. He makes his first one of the night, 1 for 5, and he has 9 points. Here's Trey Norman out to Mitchell. 10 on the timer for the Golden Eagles. Norman for 3. Way off the mark, out of bounds. And Taman Lipsey said it went off a Marquette player's head, but it's signaled to be Marquette basketball. And the crowd just got to look at the replay and agrees with their point guard.
Oh, yeah. That went off that went off of Hamilton's head.
2.3 ticks on the timer for Marquette under their own basket. Shaka Smart usually masterful at these type of plays, but this time Marquette turns it over, and it's a shot clock violation.
Yeah, this is one thing that Shaka Smart talked about, though. He would much rather dead ball turnovers than live ball turnovers. Dead ball turnovers do not allow Iowa State to get in transition. Live ball turnovers is where Iowa State thrives off of.
Amazing. Both of these teams have feasted on fast break points in the early part of the season. Only 2 fast break points tonight for Marquette, and only 6 for Iowa State. Here's the freshman. Indricitis, and it's an Iowa State turnover. Chalk that up to a freshman mistake as we take the under-12 timeout, and Iowa State hanging on to an 8-point lead over 5th-ranked Marquette. We partner with the V Foundation to highlight the urgent need for cancer research. This is game-changing research that helps save lives, and you can join the fight against cancer by visiting v.org/donate, where 100% of your donation goes directly to cancer research. When you think about stories, everybody in this day and age has been touched by cancer in their friend group or their family group. Here at Iowa State, one of their own has dealt with and won the battle with cancer. On the left-hand part of your screen, that's Iowa State Athletic Director Jamie Pollard, who a number of years ago was very public with his battle with cancer. He has finished treatments, he is feeling 100% healthy, and everyone here in the Iowa State family has helped him in that recovery, and he was very public about it because he said, the research money goes to helping people like me, and it helped him. And when you talk about family, Jamie Pollard is really celebrating with the entire athletic department in this day and age. The men's team, the women's basketball team, and the college football team all in the top 20. King, only Iowa State and Alabama can make that claim right now.
Shout out to Jamie Pollard, because clearly, Rich, he knows what he's doing when it comes to hiring head coaches. He has 3 phenomenal ones in Campbell, Finley, and Otzelberger.
There was an Audi Crook sighting tonight inside Hilton Coliseum with those number 20 Iowa State Cyclones. They took it on the chin against South Carolina, but I wouldn't have envied anybody to play Dawn Staley's team after their first loss following a 43-game win streak. But this Iowa State team has been good for a while, and they will remain that way.
One of my favorite basketball players to watch on the women's side of things. Audi Crooks is an absolute beast down low.
And now Jackson's found the stroke from the free throw line. He's made his last 3. He has 11 to go along with 4 rebounds. His front court mate, Josh Jefferson, has 12 and 9 rebounds.
You've seen Iowa State go to this 2-3 zone, but this 2-3 zone ends up morphing into man.
And why do they do this, Ken?
Because they want to slow you down. They want to make you think. They want to take time off the clock.
5 on the shot clock. And finally, Cam Jones finds the bottom of the bucket.
That's much needed, and Rich, I think that can spark him and get him going. One big shot like this, and all of a sudden Cam Jones can erupt. Let's see if that gets him going moving forward.
First field goal of the second half for the leading scorer from Marquette. Curtis Jones. Off the mark, Parham chases it down, and the ball is back in the hands of Cam Jones. One of the best natural scorers in the nation. And you can see he's hunting his shot now, and he's back-to-back buckets.
He just plays at such a great pace. He takes his time. Gilbert was about to slide over to get the steal, allows him to get back with the hesitation. Good floater, good touch around the rim. Cam Jones is elite.
4 for 14 from the field tonight, but Cam Jones has 10 points, 5 rebounds, and 7 assists.
He does it all. He is the head of the snake. He is the heart and soul. Look at these buckets right here. This is a tough one-on-one bucket. Step back, good pace, good defense, better shot. But take a look at this runner. Curtis Jones can't defend it any better. Hands up. When he gets to his spot, he does a great job of rising over the top of the defense. He just has a knack for scoring the ball, Rich.
Well, don't look now, but the lead is just 5 for Iowa State. This is the closest Marquette's been since it was 12-7 early in the game. 8 on the timer. Jefferson has handles for a big guy, and it's off the hands of Milan Momcilovic.
And that's the right read. Jefferson felt the double team coming. Located Momcilovic in the corner. Good read, bad execution.
And now the Hilton Coliseum crowd senses that their team needs them. Parham, 3 from the wing.
Wow. The angle of the pass that Cam Jones just threw, extremely impressive. Good relocation right there by Parham.
13 for Parham, 8 dimes now for Cam Jones. Momcilovic blocked by Parham, out of bounds. Marquette basketball with a chance to tie or take the lead with a 3.
I don't know how Cam Jones found this right here. Good take. Parham relocated. Cam Jones is underneath the basket. Good relocation by Parham. Better pass right there by Cam Jones.
Eyes in back of his head, and now the ball in his hands with a chance to give Marquette the lead. Off the window, and we have a tie ball game.
Oh my goodness, Rich.
Cam Jones in takeover mode.
Talking about putting on a show. No Chase Ross this half, so you knew that this young man had to come out here aggressive. Bucket after bucket. Cam Jones showing why he's one of the most prolific scorers in the country. And they're all tough. Cam Jones putting Marquette on his back. No Chase Ross this half, so what does that mean, Rich? Oh, it's Cam time. Look at these tough buckets. None of them have been easy. Iowa State has done a good job defending them, but Cam Jones is just playing better on the offensive side. But this is who he is. He has been this guy last year. He continues to be this guy this year. Cam Jones has to continue this if Marquette wants to pull off this win on the road.
Partner, Marquette is in the midst of a 10-0 run to tie this game. Cam Jones has 7 points and 1 assist on a 3-pointer. So he has been involved in all 10 of those points that's gotten them back into this game.
One of the best players in all of college basketball, but right now, if you're Iowa State, you have a guy named Keyshawn Gilbert who needs to touch the basketball, try to run something to get him downhill. Stevie Mitchell has done a good job limiting his paint touches, but try to get the ball to Keyshawn Gilbert going downhill.
Only 1 bucket in the second half for number 10 in white. And he can't get the ball now, face guarded by Mitchell. 7 on the shot clock, Lipsy. And we're going the other way.
And right there, Marquette in their shoot-around said that they wanted to blow up everything. What does that mean? Fight through the screen and do not get touched. Stevie Mitchell did an amazing job. If you watch it from the top, Stevie Mitchell, his ability to be able to fight over the top. But right here, Cam Jones getting hit by the screen. But defensively, Marquette is getting it done. That is what has got them back in this ball game.
And you want the ball in number one's hands. Here's Joplin. Marquette can't grab the lead. It's out of bounds. It'll stay Golden Eagles basketball.
Yeah, Rich, the ball has to stay in Cam Jones' hands. Every single time it's in his hands, something good happens, and that's just not saying that he's going to score the ball. He can score it or set his teammates up for success or put them in situations where they can help the helper, get the one more pass. Cam Jones has to touch this basketball.
Again, Marquette has only led for 32 seconds in this game. Here's Parham. Aggressive. Too strong off the backboard, and we're going the other way. Maybe not the type of possession Shaka Smart wanted.
Not a great one, but Rich, this is the time in where Lipsy, it would be a great time for Lipsy to finally get on track, to finally be the Lipsy that we know he can be. This would be a great time, especially with the way Mitchell is defending Gilbert.
Gilbert lost it. Ooh. Mitchell got the steal, but the foul called on number 4 in blue. And that's the third on Stevie Mitchell. And now Iowa State's going to be shooting free throws on every subsequent Marquette foul.
Rich, this is a close one right here.
Woo!
Gilbert put the ball out there. That was anybody's taking. That's a tough one. Yeah, he was a little bit physical with that right arm.
Gilbert at the line, a perfect 6 for 6 from the stripe tonight. Shoots it at a 79% clip coming in.
But now this is what we need to pay attention to, Rich, because with 7 fouls, every single time Marquette fouls, it puts Iowa State on the free throw line. Will Marquette be able to stay at the same level of aggression defensively, knowing that every foul, Iowa State goes to the line?
Iowa State looking for their 22nd consecutive win inside Hilton Coliseum. And they are back in the lead by 2, courtesy of those 2 Keyshawn Gilbert free throws. And here comes the crowd. Owens, too strong, 1 and done for the Golden Eagles. Lipsy, right down Main Street, no. Jackson blocked from behind. Great effort by the freshman. Fast break, Joplin lost it and traveled with it.
Well, Joplin thought about trying to dunk the basketball, realized he was a little too far, and came down.
Don't go anywhere. A 2-point game between 2 top 10 clubs. Alongside King McCourt, Rich Hollenberg on hand inside sold-out Hilton Coliseum. Number 6, Iowa State, with a 2-point lead against number 5, Marquette. This game unfolding, King, essentially the way we expected, especially with the play of the 2 stars for the respective teams.
Well, we talked about it in the open, Rich, and both guys, although the games look different, they mean the same thing to their team. Their ability to facilitate, to score the basketball. Cam Jones does it in more of a slow pace. Gilbert does it getting downhill, attacking. He's more electrifying, but they're both efficient scorers, playmakers, and they mean so much to their team. And whoever plays the best out of these 2 guys going down the stretch, I think will win this ball game.
Here's Gilbert with the rock from the free throw line, right on cue. A new season high, 24 for Keyshawn Gilbert. He's 1 off his career high of 25. Joplin, aggressive, no good. And another rebound for Deshaun Jackson. 11.6 boards for number 1 in white. Josh Jefferson already has a double-double, 12 and 10. Here's Jefferson with the ball. Double team, nice pass. Gilbert out to Jones. 5 on the shot clock. Yes, sir! Iowa State comes out of the timeout against the ropes. A quick 5-0 spurt forces Shaka Smart to call a timeout.
And both plays, initiated by Keyshawn Gilbert. Let's take a look at his bucket. The ability to stop on a dime, rise up. We don't typically see him get to his middle game, but he's more than capable, and this is just a great pass, great heads-up play. Curtis Jones feeling Mitchell closing out. One dribble, get into your shot. Good bucket, Curtis Jones. Keyshawn Gilbert, Rich, scoring the ball, facilitating. This is what he means to this team. Typically, it's Taman Lipsey in these moments doing that, but this year, Keyshawn Gilbert has been able to take his play to the next level, and we are seeing him be everything, the heart and soul for Iowa State.
Hilton Magic was coined all the way back in 1989, I should say, on a night when they defeated number 3 Missouri in comeback fashion. They've led almost throughout in this game against number 5 Marquette. Nevertheless, Cyclone Alley, the student section here at both ends of Hilton Coliseum, and the rest of this sold-out Coliseum are looking for a little more magic tonight against number 5 Marquette.
And right now, with Jones having the basketball, Icy guarding him, look for him to be ultra aggressive.
Here's Jones, 10 on the clock. Almost lost the handle. Now he's working on Heisey. 3 to shoot. Jones, a logo 3. Too strong, but it's chased down by Parham. 6 minutes to go and a foul called on Iowa State. That's gonna go on Deshaun Jackson, his first. That's just the 5th Iowa State foul of the second half. So Marquette inbounds under their own basket. Everybody on the floor now for Shaka Smart, a capable three-point shooter. That one's swallowed up by Jackson. Here's Parham for 3, short. Good tap back, effort play by Gold.
That's just great awareness by Gold. He couldn't get the rebound, but what could he do? He could tap the ball out to keep the possession alive.
And Stevie Mitchell split the defense and drew the foul. And that's going to go on Deshaun Jackson, his second, and Jackson a little slow to get up.
And this right here, just good defense right here by Jackson. Timing it perfectly. Hit it before it hit the glass. That's just great timing from your big man right there.
Nice lob, entry pass, but Ben Gold can't handle it.
And one of the few times we've seen Jones miss on a pass. He put a little too much right there. Gold was open, Gold had the advantage, but let him a little too much.
No Lipsey on the floor. He's set to check in on the next whistle. Here's Jackson. Check that, that was Jefferson off the mark. Jones, Johnny on the spot, picks it up. 3 on the clock, it didn't touch rim. And that one off the mark. Iowa State up 7. Punch, counter punch against 2 heavyweights. Marquette's missed their last 7 field goal attempts. And now make it 8. But Jones is there, can't clean it up. And the big man leads the break. Here's Jefferson, spin cycle. Oh, Josh Jefferson showing the repertoire for the big man.
And this is what you added. This is the offensive production from your front court that we continuously talk about. Jefferson getting it on the break. Originally, he didn't have the numbers. Nonetheless, good spin, good bucket. Jefferson showing his versatility on the offensive side.
15 points for Josh Jefferson to go along with 10 rebounds and it's a 10-0 Cyclones run. And Keyshawn Gilbert got hit in the eye. It's 5-on-4 right now for Marquette if they could take advantage. And finally, they blow the play dead. And for the second time tonight, Keyshawn Gilbert is bowed but unbroken.
Now let's see if the referees are going to review this.
We were tied at 61, and then out of a timeout, Iowa State went on a spurt. A 10-0 run has given them the 10-point lead. Here's a look at how Keyshawn got hurt.
Yeah,
that looked inadvertent to me.
It was inadvertent. And Shaka's wanting a cylinder call right now, saying that Gilbert was in the cylinder, but it was inadvertent. Elbow came down on a pass. Owens didn't try to throw an elbow or anything like that.
And clearly there's some blood spilled on the floor. This is the cost of doing business when you're an Iowa State defender.
Just the aggressive defense that Iowa State loves to play. Keyshawn Gilbert being aggressive on the defensive side. Loves to create turnovers and speed you up and pressure the ball. He does a great job, as great of a job as anybody in the country when it comes to heating up the basketball and making you uncomfortable. And right there, sometimes when you're playing that hard, when you're in somebody's cylinder, sometimes elbows get thrown, and that was inadvertent. But sometimes you get hit with elbows when you're playing as hard.
There is no foul for flagrant contact. Incidental contact is the rule. 1-1 is our point of interruption.
Good to see that Kissinger and company agree with us.
The referees have done a great job tonight when it comes to not overreacting to certain plays. Sometimes I think we see referees overreact to contact. They've done a great job tonight.
So Keyshawn Gilbert back in the Iowa State locker room with trainer Vic Miller. He's getting tended to, and clearly there was that blow causing a cut to open up. I wasn't sure if it was on the bridge of his nose or on his forehead, but it drew some blood, and that's what is being tended to right now around midcourt.
Well, they need Gilbert back in this game, so fortunately it's 4:16, 16 seconds till you're in the media, which buys you some time to get him back.
TJ Otzelberger, a man of incredible attention to detail, is pointing out to everyone who's mopping the floor exactly where those spots are that need to be cleaned up. Cyclones looking for their 22nd straight home win, 32nd against a non-conference opponent, and if they win tonight, it'll be TJ Otzelberger's 11th win against a top 10 ranked team. That'll put him just one behind the legend Johnny Orr. So the foul was called, and Stevie Mitchell will step to the line and shoot the front end of a 1-and-1. And he missed it. Rebound again goes to Josh Jefferson. 15 and 11 for number 2 in white. And now Kip Kissinger calls time himself. And King, your guess is as good as mine at this point.
I don't know what's going on right now.
And now Curtis Jones is talking to Shaka Smart at center court. It looks like they wanted to change basketballs for some reason. Or maybe some of that blood that they were cleaning on the floor, they noticed on the basketball.
Well, it looks like it's a basketball air situation, because he gave the ball to Stevie Mitchell, and apparently the ball didn't bounce the way it was supposed to bounce. Yeah, that ball's too flat. That's what it was. The ball's way too flat. You can tell by the way the ball bounces right there. Jones had to get lower in order to keep the dribble alive.
Yeah, and you could read his lips. He said, it's flat, it's flat.
That's exactly what it was.
I don't know. I've been working for ESPN for 17 years now. I don't know that I have ever seen this before.
It's a real thing. As a player, you can tell if the ball is aired up enough, if it's aired up too much, and wow.
And Tamin Lipsey called for the travel off the inbounds. So that's turnover number 10 for the Cyclones. Well, it's crunch time now, King.
And you have to get the ball to Cam Jones. With Heisey on him, you have to get the ball to Cam Jones.
Jones left alone, lefty jumper, and they're 0 for their last 10 from the field. And the crowd loves the effort from the big man, Brandon Chatfield. That foul goes on Stevie Mitchell. It's his 4th. Iowa State will be shooting free throws when we return, trying to close out the game in a top 10 matchup. We were tied at 61 just a couple of moments ago, but Iowa State has used a little bit of Hilton magic and a whole lot of talent and effort to regain a 10-point lead. They've gone on a 10-0 run, and with 3:56 to go, it's 6th-ranked Iowa State 71 and 5th-ranked Marquette 61. What do the Golden Eagles have to do now in the final 4 minutes to make a game of this?
Well, first off, you got to get stops. And I think they're doing a pretty decent job of that. But on the offensive side, I think the answer is simple. Play through Cam Jones. Play through Cam Jones, value the basketball, do not turn it over. And if you do turn it over, it has to be a dead ball turnover. But on the defensive side of things, you have to be able to play without fouling. Every single time you touch Iowa State, they are going to the free throw line. Play without fouling on the defensive side. Offensively, get the ball to Cam Jones and let him create.
The good news for Cyclone fans, Keyshawn Gilbert back on the bench. He's in the middle of the bench, and he's wearing a different uniform number. Must have gotten a lot of blood on that number 10. He's sporting 51 now, but just his presence has uplifted this Hilton Coliseum, and he's leading the charge right now on the bench.
And if you're Marquette, you have to go quick. Down by 12 with about 3.5 minutes to go. You have to keep scoring. You got to score quick.
Parham got his pocket picked by Curtis Jones.
Rich, live ball turnovers will absolutely kill you. Shaka Smart calls him a pick 6, and right there, Jones got the pick, easy bucket.
And a tough 2 and a chance at a 3-point play for Royce Parham, who's got himself 15 and a chance at 16.
This right here, just great defense from Iowa State. You turn your back, Jones realized that he didn't see him. Good layup, good defense leads to easy offense.
And now Keyshawn Gilbert back into the game in disguise. A bandage on his nose, 51 on his uniform, but the crowd knows it's him.
Hey, Rich, but there was no way Keyshawn Gilbert was not going to finish out this ball game. That is who he is.
Parham, a new career high with 15, but he misses the chance to complete the 3-point play. It's a 12-point Cyclones lead coming up on 3 minutes to go. They go inside out. Heisey in front of his own bench.
And that's just great offense right there. Keyshawn Gilbert on the pick and roll, got it to the open man. Jefferson threw it on a dime. Iowa State, you're not in a rush on the offensive side. You have the lead.
Lipsey, no, loose ball, handled by Marquette.
And that's one of those plays that you shouldn't rush that quick. Unless it's a wide open layup or a wide open shot, you should not try to shoot contested shots because you give up easy twos like that on that end.
Royce Parham with a breakout game. The freshman with 17. Here's Gilbert. And TJ Altenberger wants the ball in his hands. Ball goes out of bounds, and it's a Iowa State turnover.
And checks back into the Marquette lineup.
Look at the ball movement right here. Gilbert does a great job. They put 2 on the ball. Jefferson realizes that the backside tag slid over. Heisey wide open in the corner. Always look weak side when 2 goes on the basketball.
Just the third 3 of the season for Nate Heisey, a 5th-year senior out of Minnesota. Jones lost it, stolen away by Lipsy. And now it's Curtis Jones controlling for Iowa State. Under 2 to go. Looking for their 22nd straight home win and their biggest one of the year. And Jefferson threw it away. He was looking for Gilbert in the corner, instead threw it right to his bench.
Oh, well, that's Gilbert's fault because Gilbert is supposed to be in the corner. You're supposed to fill an X. And right there, Jefferson knew that the double was coming. He looked corner and threw it there. That is where Gilbert's supposed to be, on the bottom X.
Does Marquette have enough left in the tank? 90 seconds to go. Another turnover forced by this Cyclones defense. Behind the back, Jones. And that would have brought the house down inside Hilton. Blocked out of bounds by Heisey, and the crowd loves that.
And Rich, this is a good teaching moment for Parham. He's a freshman with a lot of upside, but he has had too many plays where he is over-dribbling, turning the ball over. And this is just good D right here by Heisey. High points the basketball, swats it out. I've been impressed with his defense. And TJ Altenberger trusting him, putting him on a guy like Cam Jones in crunch time minutes.
Number 4, Stevie Mitchell checks into the Marquette
And
lineup.
earlier today when we were talking about all the transfers for TJ Altenberger, he said of Nate Heisey and Deshaun Jackson and Joshua Jefferson and Brandon Chatfield, he said, I trust them.
Yeah.
I just have to know that they trust me to put them in a position to succeed. So far tonight, Nate Heisey has paid that off, as has Jackson and Jefferson for sure. And now Vic Miller, the trainer for the Cyclones, like a cut man in a corner, tending to Keyshawn Gilbert.
He's tough, Rich.
This
He is tough.
Rocky Balboa and Apollo Creed going 15 rounds. Counting down to 1 minute left. It's last chance time for the 5th-ranked Golden Eagles. And an and one opportunity for Stevie Mitchell.
And that right there is just a good one-on-one drive. Stevie Mitchell, the change of direction, gets the angle, gets to his left hand. Good ball placement right there. Stevie Mitchell is a really, really good driver.
Mitchell just 3 for 6 from the foul line tonight. He has 12. Marquette, one of the lone remaining undefeated teams in the country, but they are on the ropes right now. Down by 9, 1 minute to go. Now make it 8 after that Mitchell free throw. Gilbert. Swatted away by Joplin, out of bounds. And the ball bounces the way of the Cyclones. So 12 on the shot clock, 43 seconds to go in regulation.
This is great effort right here. Good backside help by Joplin, but those are the ones you wish you could have back.
Inside, Heisey again.
Rich, how many buckets have we seen on underneath out of bounds plays? They have won that part of the game. Iowa State extremely efficient on underneath out of bounds.
Last night it was Wisconsin falling from the ranks of the unbeaten. Kentucky undefeated, lost last night as well. Could tonight be the night that Marquette suffers their first loss of the year?
Rich, I still think that this is so impressive to me. If Iowa State goes on though to win this game, Rich, Tamin Lipsey has not scored. Tamin Lipsey has not been a factor in this ball game. So to be able to beat a top 5 opponent in Marquette, as good of a team as they are, to be able to win this game without Tamin Lipsey scoring, I think it says a lot about this Iowa State team moving forward.
Preseason pick number 3 in a loaded Big 12 conference as usual. But they are playing with a renewed sense of pride. Their defense, you know the defense is going to show up, but this year, the Iowa State offense has been equally as impressive. Take us inside the huddle. What's Shaka telling his crew?
Well, right now you have to go quick. I mean, down 10, what you really want to see right now is execution. He's going to tell you where to trap.
After review, the play has been upgraded to a flagrant 1 foul.
So how about this? The play has now been upgraded to a flagrant 1.
On number 10.
So that foul's going to go on the freshman Demarius Owens and send Tamin Lipsey to the line.
Yeah, let's take a look at this right here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right in the lower back, sent Tamin Lipsey to the deck.
Definitely excessive.
And Lipsey will have 2 shots, and Iowa State will get possession.
And I think that's one of those plays where Shaka will show in the film room that, hey, this is just not needed. There's ways to go for an offensive board where you don't have to push the guy. You don't have to do anything that's excessive. You already have the height advantage by about 6 inches. You can slowly walk him underneath, hope that the ball bounces, but that's just unnecessary.
TJ Altenberger called Tamin Lipsey's season last year a Van Gogh masterpiece. This was his first point of the night on that last free throw made. But still, Iowa State up 11. And the last gasp for Marquette, way off the mark. And it'll be Iowa State basketball where ostensibly they will dribble out the clock. Shaka Smart calling off the dogs. And Marquette has fallen from the ranks of the undefeated. Hilton Magic claims another victim from the top 10. The Cyclones have won their 22nd straight at home and their 31st against a non-conference opponent, and chalk up win number 12 against the top 10 team for a TJ Otzelberger-led Iowa State Cyclones program. A hard-fought match, as we expected. A lot of sound basketball on both ends of the floor, as we expected. And this was not a bad loss for the now 8-1 Marquette Golden Eagles.
By no means, but if you're Shaka Smart and you're Marquette, I mean, you lose Chase Ross, no Chase Ross in the second half, who plays a very instrumental role in your success. Cam Jones, outside of that stretch where he had 8 in a row, he didn't have a great game. He struggled, but credit to guys like Gilbert, guys like Lipsey, to be able to lock down on the defensive side and control his game on the offenses.
Well, when you turn in a 24-point, 7-assist effort and you take a shot to the nose for it as well, you get to join us at the table